first class for front-end development. So I just thought like maybe first let me start by giving some basics of the computers in case if you're a little new for the computers. Computers having basically computer. What is computer? Computer is basically a processing machine. By it will get some input and then it process using a central processing unit and gives the output back to us. And the input devices are some things like keyboard, mouse, and then output device is nothing but a monitor. So, and there is a software and hardware. Hardware is the one that you physically see. If you open your laptop, you can see a lot of what to say, like microprocessors and chips. So that is what is called as the hardware. And software is the one that basically that drives the hardware. And one thing that we need to know, this front-end development or back-end development, all of these things work in client and server technology. I'll talk about that in a minute. And then that would be the basis for this full stack or web applications. And then internet, we all know we use this internet in our day-to-day lives, even in our mobile phones. We see WhatsApp and things like that for how this internet works. So internet is basically interconnecting different hosts or computer systems over a network, and all are interconnected through a world wide web. And that's how this internet works. And anyone can reach out to any person if he is allowed to, and he can talk. So that's what is internet at a very, very high level terms. And URL is universal resource locator. So I just given this thing in case if you come across this term, you may need to know. So universal resource locator is basically is the path for page or a file that we use in a computer technology. So that's what is URL is. So these are some basics. Let's get to the client and server stuff here. So what is client and server model? Client is the one basically we sit on our client is the one that is a user of a web application. So actually the application, the web application or the server is the one that we host our web application onto. So this will be in case if you want to host our application onto the internet for for the public to use, we have to host it in our in the internet site web service provider, hosting provider, and then we as users can sit in any place, and then they can try to reach out to the server. Server will be in the other end, as you see in this left-hand side diagram. So the person's connected, they can reach out to the web application through the internet from the local end. So they can reach out to the application from anywhere in the world if we host our web application in the internet. So that's what is the client. The server is the one that we host our web application to, and client is the one that we use to reach out to the web application to configure or to receive any information and things like that. And basically the client that is used here in our PC is the actual browser. So you might have heard about the Chrome browser, the Edge browser. So Internet Explorer means we have Edge, and Firefox, Safari, so many browsers are there. So all these browsers access a client. And the client in the sense, when you initiate www.google.com, so it will send out a HTTP request packet. So in terms of a web application, so when you say like www.restaurant.com or whatever, so it will immediately send out a HTTP GET request to the server, to the application that is hosted onto the server, which is present in the internet, and then it will fetch the page back. And at the right hand side, this is the same thing which happens at the back, at the software side, which might be a little difficult, but I'll try to explain here. Client server side, you have your server On top of it, we have the operating system, and on top of the operating system, we have the web server, and then we will have the database server, and then we will have the web framework. These are the contents that will be there in the software at the server side. At the client side, we will have the user's browser, as I mentioned, and we will have programs written in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So client side initiates a request and reaches the server, and then server has all this information. The backend stuff will be able to receive the request and process it, and then it gives back the reply to the client. So this is what is the client server, and this is how the web application work. And to be specific about the front end, so what exactly is the front end is? So front end gives more importance to user experiences and user friendliness. For example, if you try to book a ticket for a say for a show or a movie or something, so we would like to have this done really quick, short, and we don't want to keep doing this by going to this page and that page, and from there we have to go to this page and then go click on this and click that. So all we want to do is in just track in say number of clicks. So 5-10 clicks, I mean 10 is too high. So 5-6 clicks, we should be able to book a ticket. So that's what users would like to do it. In case if they try to do it with a mobile, there again they would like to do it very quick, fast. So people like to have quick things, and then that's called as a user experience. So user experience is called UX, UI, UX. UI is user interface, and user experience is called user UX. So UX is actually how the user would feel in case if you like to. So suppose if you try to see a mark sheet of your 12th or of your university exam or whatever. So if you try to see your result onto your university website, so how fast you would do it and how the user experience should be. So like just after completing his job, so would you feel happy doing that, or would you feel that it was a pain to see that result? So it keeps rotating for 5-10 minutes then and goes off and then times out, and then you have to again click it. So it makes you frustrated, and such kind of thing is what is called as the bad user experience. So we'll have to give a very good user experience as part of that. Okay, so that's about user experience. And coming to front end, it all these are part of the front end. So user experience and user interface is what is the front end. So how many things are now being done as to increase the experience, or to make the experience more and more better and easy for the users these days. Okay, so and so there are three things at a very important. Definitely, you would have as part of front-end. One is the HTML, that's the content. So HTML gives the content for the page. So basically, you may need to know what is a page is, why I'm telling that it's a page. So whenever you click up thing, so you will definitely see some web page. So you see something coming and displayed. When you say www.google.com, you see a pattern. So Google logo is there, and there is a search text box is coming, and this is the pattern that you get. So this is actually is a web page that is there in the Google server, and when you say google.com, it goes and fetches this page, then it displays it onto the screen, onto your local screen. So that is what I can call it as a web page. So this is the content, and then HTML is actually gives the content of the page. We are going to learn about the HTML even if you don't get much, so you can wait for a few more minutes till you get some things. So next one is the CSS that gives us the presentation. So users would like to see a better way of presenting things. So we would need some buttons here, some check boxes, and then some radio buttons and some drop downs. So for easy configuration and easiness. So to do, for example, if you want to fill a form, and then we want to, instead of typing say today's date, we want the calendar to drop down, and then we can just select the date, and then automatically we want the date should be filled. So just by clicks, instead of typing day, month, and year, so you just want the calendar to drop down, and then just click on the date, and that's also in a user experience. But CSS comes to point of view when you want to have a so colorful thing or placement, positions, where and all you want to position, which element we want to position, how it should be. So all these things, how you want to present the form or the page is done by the CSS. And the third one is the JavaScript. That actually makes a behavior, that gives a behavior for the page. So JavaScript is used for more user friendly, for changing the page dynamically based on the user needs. So dynamically, if you want to make some changes, for example, upon a click of a button, so something else you want to see, like if you upon a click of a button, so you want to see some other new page, or if you want to say change color for some other thing. All these things can be done by JavaScript. So if you don't have JavaScript, we'll have only a very static page, and we'll not be able to make any dynamic changes to the web pages. So this is what is the basics of front-end development. And this slide is the web hosting part. So okay, now you have your, suppose if you have your web pages ready, and what to be done now to get it hosted in the internet is what is your, if that's what is your question, then you got to go and get your domain name to be registered by the registrar, and you should also be having a public IP address from your either your service provider. You may have to get a public IP, static IP, or you might have to get a lease connection, then you may have to go for a lease connection, whatever way it is. So if you want to have a static IP, if you have a static IP, you can use the static IP, and then to the domain name that you have purchased. So you have to register the domain name with your IP. That will be done by the domain name server. That's called DNS. And once that is done, you may have to approach a web hosting service provider to host your web pages. And you may have to tell them the domain name and the thing. So web hosting service provider will give the storage space for your web pages. So once you have this web page, whatever web pages that you have, so all these pages needs to be given to the web hosting service provider. He will he will have a space for you, and then he will make the pages hosted onto his storage space and make it available for the public to use. So in other words, this is now these days is getting replaced by the cloud storage or cloud service providers. Okay, so up till now we just seen only the front end development. So is there any doubt, Andrew? Anything?
No. So this one, so the hosting now cloud service providers are doing, right? So
Yeah. These
basic
days,
IP, it is infrastructure, and then public static IP. So DNS, the registrar, the registering, what is the process? Who is the provider for the registry? So they have to.
register. Yeah, sometimes the same person will do both the things. Registrar, some like some people like GoDaddy, so we'll do the registrar. So he will have the first we have to search for the domain name that we have, whether we have it or not. So what I mean is, some domain name would have been already taken up by somebody else. So we have to find out. He himself will tell us what are the domain names that are available, closer domain names. So if we want to say like alexander.com, so definitely somebody else is having it. So I may have to have alexanderj.com, something like that. So then he will say, yeah, that's available. So you can take it, and this is what is the price. And he will ask a price for about, and depends on the demand, he will charge a price. So if more people are asking for that same name, he will hike the price. And if nobody asks, he will reduce as much as 500 rupees per year or so. That's how he does it.
Okay. So this all are so either it's end of the day it's a web hosting service provider. Either it's cloud or you take it.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So web hosting service provider. Nowadays they are also coming up like small cloud service provider, not like AWS or Google.
Okay.
They have their own small. Smaller scale. They have a service at a cloud to provide whatever service similar to AWS or whatever. AWS. If you have a AWS account, we can definitely, of course, AWS will charge us for the amount of web pages that we use or the web time. So how much our time that we are using EC2. So he will charge that amount. But same thing. So he will, even if you have an AWS account, we will be have to pay the charge. But we may have to compare the prices of the other lower scale, smaller scale cloud service provider and AWS. Yeah, so we may have to compare and then get to a conclusion, which is who is good.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so that's about it. So we will we'll start with HTML. Okay, what is HTML? HTML is a hypertext markup language. So it's a standard markup language for web pages. Platform independent. It's not dependent on any platform. You can even render the web page on Android platform, or it could be Intel platform, or it could be Mac, or it could be any platform. Same web pages can be rendered without any issue. So it's very that way it is very helpful, and you don't need to do anything specific to the platform for seeing the web page. That's the main reason these web applications are quite popular instead of standalone applications. And used for creating web pages consists of series of elements, HTML elements. It has got a lot of HTML elements. That's what we are going to see as part of this HTML course, and tells the browser how to display the elements. So there's so many elements are there. It tells the browser how these elements needs to be displayed. So high level, that is what it is. It has got tags, attributes, and styles. So HTML is a text document having HTML elements. So HTML, each and every HTML element is actually defined by means of a start tag and an end tag. And so if you see the syntax here, which is in violet color, so tag name, you can say that's called the start tag, and end tag is defined as / and end tag name, and should be angular brackets. So it should be surrounded by angular brackets. The whole of the file should be surrounded by the angular HTML tag. So we'll see the HTML structure of this HTML file structure in the next slide. And this is called the tag. So many tags are there. HTML is that. So HTML is full of tags. Inside the tag, we can have content. So whatever content that we give, it will get printed. So looking at the tag, the HTML browser will, or the HTML interpreter will interpret the tag, and then it will display it on the browser screen the way it should be displayed. So tags will give us the input to the HTML interpreter to how these tags, how this information needs to be displayed. So that's what is the purpose of tag. And tag can be assigned some specific attributes. For example, T is a angular bracket. T is for paragraph. So in case if you want to say a paragraph, write a paragraph. So you can P is a tag. So and then if you want to give attribute to the tag, yes, you can give that attribute. And this attribute can, for example, I have specified just one attribute. Align. Align is equal to left. It means it will align the whole of the text in the left corner, left hand side, left margin. and it'll it left align. So whatever most of the things that we do with the Word document can be done with the HTML and using these tags. Okay, so HTML has got some styles. So if we give a tag plainly, it will be very plain. In case if you want to give more style to it, then we need to use style. And these styles can be inline style and external style as well. So inline style means you can provide these styles as an attribute to the tag. So so later times when you say these styles are the ones that are actually uh, put in a separate file, and we call that as a cascading style sheet. So that's what we call it as cascading style sheet. Later time that we will learn about that. But so these styles basically we can include these styles as part of the tags as an attribute part. So I showed you that how we can add the attribute just by giving the attribute name and a value. Same way, we can also give the styles also. So in here, so so we have to just note it carefully here. Tag name, and then style is the attribute, and then we have to give equal to should be there because attributes need equal sign. And then just after equal sign, you may have to put a quotes, and then inside the quotes we have to give the CSS property. So this is called a CSS property. You will learn about this property in later, but at this point of time, you can we will be using it minimally. So property means for see the example here. Same tag p tag, and then we have a style. We are going to give a style here. Style to color it as blue. Want to give blue color to the text that we are typing. So what we are saying is style equal to color :blue, and then I'm going to give a text I am blue. So that means this text that I'm giving will be shown in blue color. So P is the tag, and then that's a start tag, and then /P is the end tag that I talked about. And then inside this we can give attributes, and the attribute that we are given here is style equal to color :blue, and then close the quotes, and then there should be a semicolon here. So we may have to be careful about this equal to colon, semicolon, and quotes. So these, in case if you make some mistakes on this, so things may not work properly. It will also not give any error too. So it will not work the way it is intended to. Unlike C++, it will not throw an error for us to go and debug. It will not work and keep silent. So that's how it behaves, because it's not a powerful, I mean, what to say, it's not the way it works, because most of the interpreter does it like that only. Okay, so you can also give font size for the text that you're going to give as part of the thing. So font size : 50 pixels, px, and then put a semicolon here. Then you do the styles. Okay, so now I've given a very brief idea about what is HTML and tags and attributes. So let us now get into the real thing. First, you have to go and install a visual source code editor. There's a visual source code editor that you have to go and install. This is the editor for using to write HTML codes, CSS code, all the codes we have, JavaScript also. We can write this, write code using this file editor. So we have to, which is a free source, free open source, made by Microsoft, but it's quite good one. So you can go ahead and download it into your system. So it will seamlessly download and install. It will not have any, it will not show up any issue at all. Okay, I have, so in case if you have any issues in downloading and installing, please reach out to me. Most 99% you should not get any issues, unless otherwise if you have Mac or something, then I have not tried such things. But otherwise you will not have any issues in installing this. So once you install this, you will have this kind of window. So I have something to open. So I'll close this. I'll show it the way it was. So when you open okay, so when you just after installing it, you will see the you'll see the editor coming up like this. So wherein you will see file edit selection, you go and run, and these are the icons that you will see. This is for
The screen is still showing the presentation. It's not showing
okay,
the export.
good that you show told.
Okay.
How about now?
Uh, it's
Not yet.
it loading. Yeah, it's loading. Yeah, it's shown.
Okay, so just after downloading and installing it, so you will see this kind of screen in your system. So you can first go ahead and create a directory in particular location. So again, I have to reshare it. Let me find out if I can share all of my screen.
Yeah,
I
screen
have
shared.
whole of my screen is getting shared now. So I
Okay.
have you can also create a directory. I have created like a D colon chosen computers code and HTML. I have a directory, and then under that I have created day one directory, and you can also create such things, and then come back here, and then you can open the folder here from the day one. So that's what I have done it. So day one, I have these files, and then you can, if you want to create a file here, you can use file, new text file. So okay, yeah. Before before doing that, you have to go to this extension. Go to this extension and then type boilerplate. 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 HTML boilerplate. This is one thing that you may have to install. So this will be very useful thing. It will save you from typing the regular stuff, because whenever you open a file, by default it will create a lot of code by default for you, so that you can the system itself will create such things for you. So just install this. It will also get installed without any issue. So once you install this, then go, in case if you want to create a file, go say new text file, and then in here you have say fill with template. So it will say select a language or fill with template. So here you say fill with template, and then it will say class doc. So once you say class doc, it's going to create this default template. So this is the default template. And if you see here, this is the HTML file structure. So this is first line is called the doc type and HTML. This means this line tells the system HTML interpreter that this file is a HTML5 file, and hence this needs to be interpreted with a HTML5 interpreter. So hence you need to have this first line, that is exclamatory doc type and HTML. So this is must here. Make sure that you have this, otherwise it will not work. So the next line should be the real HTML file. And as I had mentioned, it should be surrounded by HTML tag. So the start tag is HTML and end tag is HTML. And just after that, you will have the head and the body. So you'll have the head and the body. Head will tell a lot of information, like it will tell what uh, uh, character set. So there is a meta tag is there. So meta tag, and there's a title tag. So meta tag will say how this needs to be decoded, how this character set needs to be decoded. Where it is used is we are using UTF-8, which means sometimes some of the information that we have may have to be decoded in Spanish, or it could be in Hindi, or it could be in Tamil, or it could be in some other language also, or Italian, or whatever language. So in that scenario, so these character set would have to be changed so that the whole thing will get interpreted or decoded in that particular language. And then title is the thing that will tell how this title would look like. So I'm saying sample. So when you open this file, so at the top of the window, you'll see this sample file. You can, this is the title for the HTML files. HTML file, when you open this file, it will have this kind of window in your at the title of the window. So that will be the title of the window. So these are the things that can be there in the head. Later we will add styles. I'll talk about styles later. So as of now, head can be like this, and inside this you can have body. You will have body, and this body we can have whatever things that we have. So let me start with a tag, heading tag. So inside the heading tag, I'm going to put and I have to give end tag. So I have given h1 means heading tag. So I given start tag of h1 and then end tag of h1, and so I have given a tag now, so I can see how this is rendering it. I can see how this is rendering it in the same editor. We can try it comes with a preview thing. So if you go here, if you touch your mouse, it will say show preview. You can see the show preview here. If you click here, you'll be able to see preview. So whatever I have typed in here, it is actually dynamically shown or rendered in the web page as it is. So if you try to change whatever you want, you can do that, and it will get changed here. Okay, so heading tag, and let me try to add heading 2, head 3, head 4, 5, 6. So this is what is the heading tag all about. So I can save the file. I'm going to save the file now. Save as. Save. And I'm going to save it in HTML. This extension for this file should be HTML.html. So when you save it, make sure that you save it with double quotes. So I'm going to say sample.html and save it with double quotes. Then only it will save with along with this extension. So sample.html. So it is successfully saved. So it's trying to look for untitled, so it's not there. So it's saying file not found. So we may have to redo the preview. It will show. Okay. So the HTML file the source, when you see a web page, this is how it will look. So the same thing can be seen. I have done it like this. I have created you can go to your browser and you can put the directory path onto your browser, and you can see all these files. I mean, whatever file I have created, the sample.html file. So that file you will be able to see here that is getting listed. If you click there, it will be displaying it onto your browser, actual browser. So this is the same way it will be working. So you can create a shortcut for the directory that you have that I have created here. So I have so whenever you want to see it in the, you can just click this and you will be able to see all the things here. Okay, so preview, HTML boilerplate, opening and saving. Debug part, I'll come back. I'll come to that little later. This will be heavy for you. I think HTML file structure, I talked about it. A meta tag level, actually you have a thing called Viewport, and there are multiple meta tags which are there. I've just told only the char set, and we can have a meta tag called meta name equal to viewport and content equal to width equal to device equal to device hyphen width. In here, we may have to tell what is the width size. In case if it's a mobile device, we can specify that it is the width size will be 600 pixels and so on. So based on that, it will display it on the mobile as well without any issues. But recently, the responsive designs are come up. So wherever we are trying to render, it will automatically change the screen size and it will render there without any issues. Okay, and this is the first HTML file that we showed, that we seen. Sharing. What do we do now? Like 1 hour முடிஞ்சிருச்சு. Is it okay? Like if I take five minutes? Anto? Anto, are you there?
Sorry, I was on mute, Alex. No problem. If you want to finish one title, you can go ahead and finish. That and all fine. So if you want
Okay,
to
so
stop, or
yeah,
if you want to complete something, you can complete and stop. No problem.
sure.
Everything is
Okay, so yeah, I will take like 5 more minutes.
fine. Sure.
Text formatting, we will finish. So, we just saw a small bit of HTML tag. So there is heading tag alone we saw. So in this heading tag, we have 6 levels. We saw that, and there is a paragraph tag. So I will show you that. There is a bold tag for B. If you want to have some words in italic, you can put a tag, I tag. So see here, like bold and italic doesn't have a end tag here. There are few tags that they don't have end tags. Suppose if you want to have some tags, some letter to be superscripted or subscripted. Superscripted means if you see some things like first one and then st will be at the top. So that's the superscript, and sometimes you may want some letters, some characters at the bottom. So that should be subscript. For this format, that can be done using the subscript. And then if you want to give a line break, you can say specify br. There is a slash by mistake, so just br. And then horizontal rule, if you want to give, we can give HR. And if you want to emphasize something, we can give EM, and strong, can give strong. And if you have a quote, then you can say Q and then block quote, there is a tag. And then abbreviation ABBR, we can give an acronym also, we can give address, we can give insert, delete, and yes for strike through. So I'll just show you these things, whatever that I have made here. Text formatting. So this is the file that I've created to show it to you. So I have got some headings here, and this heading you see here, I have given a attribute H1. I've given a heading tag. I've given an attribute. I've said align equal to center. So that means the content that I'm going to give will get aligned in the center. So it will come in the center. So as you see here, it comes in the center. This is my first page. This comes in the center. So because of the attribute that I gave, the attribute here is for the heading tag alone, H1, for the first line alone, I have given align equal to center. And the message that I've given here is this is my first script. In here, I'm using the superscript, super thing. So I have used SUP and then given ST. And then I put first under the parenthesis and then page. So and that's the reason 1 and ST is getting printed like this. And I'm going to have a quote tag. Q, I want to put a quote from Mother Teresa. So I have said, yesterday is gone, tomorrow is not yet come. We have only today. Let us begin. So from Mother Teresa, that's a quote. So if you give this under this quote tag, you will be having by default the which will come under double quotes. You can see message is printing in double quotes by default. And I've given it in red. To give it in red, you can say style equal to, style is a proper attribute. And then inside, I've told you like how to use the style, right? So style is an attribute. An attribute needs to be given a value. In the value, I'm giving a CSS property. Property should be given in double quotes. Property should have color and value. So I'm given color equal to red. Want to change it to something else, you can do that. Color colon, and then you can give blue. It's by itself, it is showing this all color that is all these are showing up because as it is a visual VS Code editor. Because of this, it's showing all these colors so that we can easily select quickly whatever you want. So user friendly. And then for address tag, I have used this address tag and given my address, so you can see how it is getting displayed. Okay, so these are the few things. We'll see list and then we can stop, I think. There is a way, if you want to store some things, there are things called list. HTML list allow you to group a set of related items in list. We know this. We would have heard this term in other programming languages, but here it is not. The list is not the way it's used in Python or something else. But it is very simple to. We have a list of fruits, for example, apple, orange, kiwi, and all. We have a list of fruits. So how we want to display it in the web page. So that's where the list tag is getting used. So there are three kinds of lists. One is numbered list, bullet list, which is numbered list is also called as ordered list. So that means it will be, when you say ordered list, it will be listed 1, 2, 3, 4. When you say unordered list, it will be list will be listed as bullets. So that's also called as bullet list. And then description list. So you can also say description list. I'll show you some examples for you. So in each and everything, ordered list will have a specific tag called OL, and LI. LI is a list item. So inside OL, will seeing the OL tag, it will the HTML browser will come to know that it's a ordered list, and when it sees the LI, it will see this list item. And then when it sees the UL, then it's assuming it will assume that it is a unordered list, so it will display it in the bullet things. And LI means list items. Description list, we have to define it using DT. Okay, so we'll see the examples here and then close. See here the ordered list. I am saying I have given H3 and I've told ordered list. So let's come down here. The ordered list, I'm saying apple, orange, and lychee and kiwi. So this is a list of fruits that I want to put it in the ordered list. So I have to use a OL tag, OL tag, OL start tag, and OL end tag. Under that, I have to give all the list items. Keep giving all the list items, how much ever you want. It will number it by itself, 1, 2, 3, 4, and keep numbering it. It will all be done perfectly. And if you want to do a unordered list, you can create it using UL tag. UL tag, and then same thing, list item. You can give apple, orange, lychee, kiwi. So this is the UL unordered list. So then the description list. Description list will be like you have a description term, and then we have a description data. So description term is programming language. I given as a sample example, sample thing. So programming language, and then I've given a this data description like this. You can also have something like, for example, you can also say T. As I type it, it's rendering. That's the beauty of this VS Code editor. As I type, it dynamically renders the things. So this is how the description list. And one more thing is you can also create nested list. So sometimes we may want to create nested list. For example, here you see cars, and I'm giving. I have given.
Sorry, what is the DT and DD?
DT is description list. DT is description term, and description data.
Oh.
DT means description data. DL, this is DL, description list tag. DL tag, end is end DL tag.
Okay.
So yeah, you can use it for, give a term and then give a value kind of thing. So I gave just HTML and then given like hypertext markup language, something like that. So scripting language, Perl shell. So like that, however you want to use it, you can use it. So the list can also be nested. What I'm trying to give is OL ordered list, and under the order list, I'm having a list item, this cars, and under the car list item, I am creating a unordered list again inside this. And in the unordered list, I'm trying to list two other parameters here. One is coda, and the other one is order. There are two other items. And then again, as part of the cars, I am also giving the list item, new list item, which is bikes, which is part of the ordered list. So it will take the number as 2 here, and then say I'm saying Honda and Ether. I'm closing the unordered list, and then this one I will have to Yeah. So one other thing is ordered list. I can make here if I don't give anything in the unordered list. In the ordered list, we can say type equal to whatever number. So if you don't give anything, it takes the number as 1, 2, 3. If you want to specify something, then you can give like type equal to small a. Then it starts giving A, B, C. So Honda takes the value. Honda takes the index of A, and Ether takes the index of B, and so on. So you can also give capital A also. If you see, it directly changes to. To remove this, it will start naming it as number 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And put A. So dynamically it changes. So that's the beauty of it. Yeah, that's about the ordered list, unordered list, nested list, distribution list. And then okay, so align left. So I'm just showing a demo like God loves you. The God text I'm printing in the left. So God, and then I'm saying should be printed at the left. And loves should come on the center. And then right on the right, I'm printing you. So each and every word will come in different locations. So God is aligned to the left, loves is at the center, and you at the right. Okay, so another thing, one other tag that I thought I will give is progress value. Progress value I can use to represent some number, some progress. So I'm just saying like 80% and max is 100. I'm saying value is 80. I want to say like 40, it'll dynamically change. And if you want to say 60, this is how it looks. 95 looks like this. And whatever you want, you can use it to display some levels. So this is the progress value tag. Progress tag, and you have to specify the value and max. Value should be the value that you want to specify, and max should be the maximum thing. Okay.